Tonight I'm going to be reviewing AFNAN's Supremacy Not Only Intense. When this first came out, everybody knew this one as a Creed Aventus clone or a Creed Aventus copy, or yet another fragrance that was inspired by the famous Creed Aventus. However, as time went on, more and more people started comparing this one more so to Hacivat by the House of Nishane. Now, I've never actually smelled this one, but I am a fan of the Aventus / Hacivat DNA. So I am very excited to try this one, and I'm excited to do the unboxing and present it for the very first time to you guys. So stick around. I hope you enjoy this review. Hey everyone, welcome back to Real Scent Review. I hope you enjoyed this review of AFNAN's Supremacy Not Only Intense. If you're a fan of my content, if you like fragrance-related topics, please don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel and also give a like to this video if you enjoy it. So this is my first ever unboxing and first impressions video, and I am doing Supremacy Not Only Intense by AFNAN, like I said. Now, when this first came out, this was super hyped. You know, people were comparing it to like a really strong Aventus with really good performance. And as time went by, more and more people started comparing it to Hacivat by the House of Nishane, a really nice Turkish house that, if you don't already know them, you should definitely check them out. This one here, it arrived in the mail today, and I'm already surprised because the weight of this box is quite heavy. I mean, it's quite a substantial box. So, you know, why waste any more time? I'm just going to get right into this now. See what the hype is all about. Okay, that cellophane was stuck on there pretty good. But now we have the outer part of the box, which is nice. It's kind of a pewter color. It's embossed with the AFNAN logo. It has the large AFNAN logo here on the side. Across the front of the box and the top and the back and the bottom, it looks like it has a kind of almost like a fleur-de-lis symbol. This slides out. Goodness, look what we have here. It's a nice inner box, I guess the main box. This part technically would be a covering. Anyway, I mean, look at this design here. Beautiful piano black, very smooth, with the AFNAN logo here. Okay, wow, let's read the back. Very nice. My initial impression of the packaging of the presentation is very good. I mean, this is quite impressive. 100 milliliter bottle, the AFNAN information back here. We have the inner part here, which is the exact same design that we see on the sleeve here, the outer sleeve. Plastic, silver, or pewter maybe. The AFNAN symbol. And let's see here. Just another quick look at this box. This is quite impressive. Not something you'd expect for a $45 fragrance. All right, now let's see here. How to open this beauty. Okay, this comes right off. And what do we see here? There is looks like a blurb. There's something written there. I'll get to that later. Anyway, in the inside here, we have the bottle. All right, there we go. Looks very nice. I mean, all right. So it looks like the rest of the AFNAN bottles, at least from the Supremacy line. They have a couple of different lines. Anyway, here we have beautiful bottle. Silver on top turns into a black gradient the farther down the bottle you go. And the AFNAN logo up in the corner. Okay. The cap. Yeah, right. I think it's the same on most of the Supremacy line bottles. The cap is not great. I would never want to pick it up by the cap here. It comes off pretty easily, and it's a fairly heavy bottle, substantial bottle. Now, the part that I have been waiting for so long. All right, the distribution of the Atomizer is great. Wow, okay. Very pleasantly surprised by this. Wow, okay. in the opening, this is basically Creed Aventus. I have to say, on the very first spray, I am impressed with this. Wow, okay. Definitely reminds me almost exactly as one of the smokier batches of Aventus. Really nice here on the opening. Okay, now I'm not going to go over the official note breakdown. I'm going to say what I detect in this. In the top, there's definitely some black currant. Maybe a little bit of pineapple, but it's mostly the black currant berry. And there's definitely a smoky birch that I'm getting right on top here. Okay, again, I'm going to say off the initial spray here, I am impressed. This is already one I can tell I'm going to like. It's not, it's strong. Yes, it's very intense. It's very strong, but it's, I mean, it smells pretty natural. You know, I'm not struck by like an alcoholic wave of synthetic notes at all. This is pretty well blended, honestly. This is nice. What do I get? I get a little bit more. The birch is definitely becoming a bigger player here. A little bit of patchouli, slightly. And there's a spiciness. It kind of reminds me of maybe saffron. That's in the mid part. Man, this keeps getting better and better. I am seriously impressed. Another safe blind buy. Sometimes blind buys are risky, obviously. I've been disappointed in the past, but I can tell you right now, this has been a very successful blind buy. Very. Maybe even the most successful blind buy that I have ever made. Okay, wow. I'm getting more some sort of pepperiness. I don't know, a pepperiness coming out here. You know, the fruits are dying down a little bit, but they're still there. If there was any pineapple in the opening, I think it's completely disappeared at this point. The black currant is still there. Black currant, whatever, is still there. And birch becoming more and more apparent, and it's taking on more of a smoky tinge. Okay, in the opening and, you know, the beginning of the mid here, you know, as it starts to dry down a little bit, I am seriously impressed. This is really good so far. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this for about an hour or so, maybe a little bit longer. I'm going to let it dry down even more on my skin. I'm going to ask my girlfriend what she thinks of this, and then I'm going to come back and let you guys know my final thoughts and what I get out of the dry down. All right, I'll be back. Hey guys, so coming back to this now, it's been an hour and 43 minutes. And this just keeps getting better and better. I am, quite frankly, astounded by this. This is super good. I am really, really impressed with this. So my girlfriend likes it, doesn't love it, a little bit too, you know, masculine for her, maybe a little bit too abrasive, but I can tell you, she's never been really the biggest fan of the Aventus DNA. However, I can tell you right now, if you are a fan of the Aventus DNA or of the Nishane Hacivat DNA, you're going to love this. This is phenomenal. This is really freaking good here. All right, so in the opening part and towards the mid, definitely reminds me of Aventus, right? It's got that citrusy, fruity blast and the smoky birch. All right, it's Aventus in the first hour. After the first hour, the fruitiness dries down a lot. It dies down a lot, rather, and oak moss becomes very apparent here. Oak moss, a lot of oak moss and ambergris. So there's just the slightest tinge of black currant berry left here, but it's mostly oak moss and ambergris. So a very, very masculine dry down with just a slight berry tinge from that black currant. And so in the latter parts of this fragrance, it definitely starts to remind me more and more and more of Hacivat by Nishane. Now, I can't speak to the total performance of this. I haven't been wearing it for, you know, a whole day on my skin yet, but It's been an hour and almost 2 hours now, and it's just as strong as it was when I first sprayed it. I mean, it's just as strong as it was when I first sprayed it, but the notes are evolving. It's evolving on my skin, which is really interesting. A lot of times with cheaper clones, they can be very one-dimensional, and they can start to turn a little bit synthetic, or they can even, you know, start out very synthetic and turn into something very good later on. But, you know, with this one from the very first spray, I'm very impressed. And here, almost 2 hours later, it just keeps getting better and better. Like I said, haven't been wearing this for a whole day, but I can tell this is going to be a beast of a performer. The projection, I'm in my living room recording this, and I went into my bedroom and I could smell it from the bedroom. My girlfriend was in the kitchen and she could smell it when I first sprayed it in the living room. So she could smell it from like 20 feet away. Very loud. Man, I am going to do a full review on this at some point, but for right now, I'll just say I am really impressed with this. This has been my most successful blind buy yet. And for 45 euros, which is roughly 45 American dollars for this 100 milliliter bottle, I'm having trouble thinking of a better fragrance than this for this price range. I mean, this smells super, super high quality. This is phenomenally well blended. It smells just as high quality, honestly, as a lot of the batches of Aventus, especially the older batches, the more smoky ones. You know, and as far as Hacivat goes, also comparable in quality. This is a gem. This is really a gem. I can't believe this doesn't get more hype than it does, to be quite honest. Honestly, I think I'm going to have to buy a second bottle of this, because I feel like, okay, right now, yeah, $45 US for a 100 milliliter bottle, which, by the way, it goes for something very, very similar on FragranceNet and Fragrance Buy over in North America. You know, right now, that's a pretty affordable price, but I feel like once hype gets out that this is a phenomenal fragrance, I feel like the prices are going to rise. And so, you know, we can look at fragrances like La Yukawam by Rasasi, for example. That's what happened with that one. It started out as a very inexpensive fragrance, and it has grown exponentially in price since the hype built around that one. So now it's nowhere near as cheap as it used to be. La Yukawam by Rasasi, also another phenomenal fragrance, which I'm going to be reviewing at some point as well. So stay tuned for that. But getting back to this one, the Not Only Intense by AFNAN. Just amazing. Would I call it the best Aventus clone? I don't know, because I haven't smelled all of them. I will say that if I compare this to something like Club de Nuit Intense Man by Armaf, it's not even fair to compare the two. This is leagues better than that one. I won't even compare the two, because they're not even comparable. This is so much better in terms of quality and performance and smell in general. Now, I also have a really, really, really good Aventus clone called Emperor Extrait by Parfum Vintage. It's right behind me here. I think that does a better job of staying true to the actual Aventus smell. So, whereas this opens very similar to Aventus, I feel like it dries down into something that's more similar to Hacivat by Nishane. So as far as a straight up Aventus clone, I don't know if this would be the best one, but the way it kind of combines the DNA of Hacivat and Aventus, it creates something so magical, so phenomenal. In its own right, this is just a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. I'm gonna have to stop it there for tonight. This was just supposed to be a first impressions video, and I've given you my first impression. Absolutely will be giving this a full review before too long here, so you're gonna want to stay tuned for that. As of right now, that's all I'm gonna say. If you guys have tried this one, let me know in the comments below what you think, what your experiences have been, and I will be back later on with another review for you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this one. All right, take care and keep it real.